What fire springs forth? What bile does bubble? The black moon swings and the sky says trouble. By violent ends, we kill the light. Through the shadows, madness beckons. Weird at night.
1, 2, 3.
At night. This is Blazing Space, and I'm trying to have a sort of enjoyable trans pride and enjoy my own trans life and safety and be happy about it and be psyched that I get to make art this weekend, and that's always something that I'm very blessed with and helps keep me a human. But I gotta say, it's really hard to feel celebratory at all while so many of our black trans sisters and brothers are being murdered at an increasing rate right now, you know, as we try to get that awareness of black trans lives matter out there. And it's kind of weighing heavy on me today. And I wanted to do something for the episode, and I ended up having to make myself a little morning screwdriver. I was just feeling really hot, and at least for me, when I'm about to direct something, I have to come relax a little bit, and that's not for a few more hours for me. But with that melancholy backdrop or drop shadow, if you will, happy Pride to everybody in Weird at Night. And I hope that everybody is being vigilant in calling out homophobia and racism whenever you see it, and transphobia as well, you know. I say this also as a reminder to myself, because it's important that we look out for each other right now. But black trans lives matter. Racism is deadly. And we can do better at protecting black trans indigenous lives. We can do a lot better. And I'm going to try to do a lot better. And I wanted to encourage everybody watching to do a lot better. And call out transphobia when you see it, call out racism when you see it. Let's attack racism, and let's attack it with love. Let's take compassionate actions. And yeah, so this week, Blazing Space is just a little reminder machine. Black trans lives matter. Happy Pride.
Evelyn, guess Mary Wince? Where have the hair hang down days gone? What? The hair hang down days, where we let our collective quaffs bathe in the sunlight as if in endless heaven that simply will not yield. Well, Mary Wince, it seems as though the hair hang down days were really just a celebration of our quaffs, not the quaffs of all. Are you insinuating, Evelyn, that we are the beneficiaries of a disproportionate advantage in wealth and status as exhibited by our outsized quaff dangling? Yes, quite right. Mary Wince. Yes, Evelyn? It seems as though those days are numbered. Yes, perhaps. I pray so. Shall we continue skipping merrily in our despair? Yes, good. La 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 la. Inner Nibbles.
What's up, everybody? It's Patrick Galactic, and you're watching Weird at Night. I want to say thank you to Blazing Space and our friends Mary Wince and Evelyn of the Inner Nibbles for their contributions this week. It's kind of fun to lead off the show with some footage instead of just jumping right into me yapping. How the fuck is everybody doing? Are you guys having a good night? Are you guys having a bad day? Are you guys having a great afternoon? What is time? Does time matter anymore? I don't think it does. Do you ever think that maybe human beings are just in the same way that, you know, a dog or a cat might be limited in their ability to perceive certain things that we can perceive? Do you think that our ability to perceive time is surpassable by other beings, and that our linear perception of time is, in fact, just a huge limitation of our species? Do you ever think about that? I don't really, but I just did. Hey, I'm really glad you're here, because it's been one heck of a week. A heck of a week. Right, guys? Right, everybody? Right? Heck of a week. But we've had some fun along the way. I have. Sometimes fun doesn't mean actual fun. It just means I laughed because otherwise I would just cry until I died. And nobody wants to cry until they die. I have that on very good authority. So there we go. This thing just always kind of makes me feel as if we are one. It's my signal to you. So I deactivated my Facebook for a couple days, which I have never done before. Uh-oh. There's a wrinkle in the space-time continuum. Well, anyway, I deactivated my Facebook for a couple days, basically because I'm a social media crackhead and I use social media like an insane person. Sometimes I wake up and check Facebook within like 5 minutes of being awake, and it very rarely ever makes me feel better. I'm very rarely glad that I did this, but I do it ritualistically just all the time. And I was definitely right in, you know, that initial wave of Facebook users who were just having a great time in the very beginning when it was a brand new platform. And but over time, you know, as things have become inherently more political in society, Facebook has become inherently more political, and it's just kind of a self-hating exercise in a lot of ways. So it was strange to note how often I tried to check Facebook after I deleted it from my phone. And then I also opened the Pages app, which I never use, ever, just without even thinking, because I was trying to get somewhere instinctively towards Facebook. But I was logged out. So I reactivated it today to tell everybody that the show is happening. But I might deactivate it again tomorrow, because honestly, I could use some more time off. Trying to kind of heal myself a little bit of this just information space. It's just a constant deluge of new bad information, and we have to work on our own truths as well. And my truths are becoming more evident to me because I feel like I'm doing a really good job of living in the moment. And I've never really been very good at it, but through this experience, this pandemic and the absolute crisis of leadership and the blah, 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 you know, I've had to try and strengthen myself a little bit. And so far, so good. I hope you guys are all doing okay. I do have my moments of despair, as we've discussed. And I know you probably all do as well. But continue to hang in, because we are going to get through this. It's just going to happen. But right now, we have to do something else. And it's not going to be pretty.
Let me tell you something, brother. You COVID-19 denying fools step into my world, and you want to come in and tell me that Patrick Galactic is a fool for wearing a mask. Is that right? Is that right? Well, let me tell you, brother, when I get you in the ring and I bring you face to face, virtually 6 feet or more away, you will see the wrath of someone who does not have COVID-19, because I am taking basic precautions to survive. Now, what do you think of that, brother? Wash your motherfucking hands and wear a motherfucking mask. Yeah.
That actually felt really good. It felt really, really good. I was worried, I'll be honest, I was worried that somehow I had muted my microphone when that was going to happen. But I didn't, because I don't think I could do it again. Wash your fucking hands, wear a fucking mask. It's not a big ask, guys. It's really not. This is just, hey, do you want to live or die? So, speaking of that, somebody this week made everybody angry at them because they talked about, maybe we all just gotta die. And that is Clear Pepsi, aka Sammy Hagar, he was in a band of some type, Van Halen, I believe. He is not just a matchstick with a guitar around him. He is actually a human being still. He's still alive. Not relevant, but still alive. He was quoted in Rolling Stone as saying that essentially that he would love for his kids to have the same economic opportunities, or even just a little bit of the same economic opportunities that he's had. And that he really wanted to get back out on the road, and that, you know, even before a vaccine, et cetera, et cetera. And said, you know, sometimes, you know, we all got to die. And there may just be people who have to die. And that didn't go over super well. I didn't like it. I don't think anybody else really liked it. However, it was a conversation from early May that was rerun in a new article in June. So he responded to it and said, hey, look, that's kind of where I was at the time when the outlook on this whole thing was rosier. But I see that we are not in that place right now. So I'll give him that. All right. Clear Pepsi, Sammy Hagar, has cleared himself to some degree. Okay. But that's still just a really reckless and stupid attitude. I know that we all got to get back to what we're doing, right? But what you were doing before, like, you're not going to be able to just get right back to it. That's just not going to happen. So why do I call Sammy Hagar Clear Pepsi? I think you know why. And I hope you're ready to do it with me. why Okay? All right? Don't take it so hard. I am a little winded. I won't lie. But I feel it was worth it. New Japan Pro Wrestling has been my friend. They are running their programs again, and it's great. Okay, so we're about to kind of move on to another cool thing, which is album recs. And the albums I have for you this week or today are a little weird. I tried to be, provide some more variety, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll see what you think. The first album is by the Mothers of Invention, fronted by Frank Zappa. And the album is called We're Only in It for the Money. This came out in the late 60s. It was obviously a parody of kind of the capitalist consumer element of the hippie movement, and correctly identified, I guess. Frank Zappa was a fairly, he didn't like a lot of things about the music industry, and the pop music industrial complex was perhaps his least favorite thing, but he proceeded to parody it by copying it and using a lot of the same techniques that the Beatles and that the Beach Boys used to make their these kind of magnum opus records like Sgt. Pepper's and Pet Sounds, to make a record of his own. And it's a great record. It's really, really funny, but it's also really creative and innovative. So I would definitely recommend checking that one out. The next one is by a band called The Slits. The album is called Cut. And this came out, I believe, in the early 80s. And you can see from the album cover, they're pretty serious about making a statement right off the bat. And if you think that says anything about what they sound like, you got to listen to this record, because these women were wildly creative. And this album is like, it's dub, it's punk, it's all kinds of stuff, but it's wildly creative, and they take no shit at all. This is punk as fuck. You should definitely check it out. I think you'll love it. Lastly, this is kind of a mellow, reflective selection. This album's called Alien Observer by an artist named Grouper, who's from Portland. She is covered a lot of different ground artistically. I can't always go where she's going. I can't say I'm a huge fan of absolutely everything she does, but this particular record is really, really good. The track Alien Observer is gorgeous, and I really, really hope you guys will check it out on Weird at Night Selects, which is on Spotify. You can go follow that playlist. That'd be awesome, because we have just a ton of music in there right now, and we have a ton more that we'll be adding over the coming days, weeks, months, years. So let me throw links to the stuff I just shared in the chat. You guys can talk amongst yourselves for a moment. Don't read the chat too much, Patrick. Focus on the task. Here we go. And then I'm throwing the link for the Weird at Night Selects in here as well. Okay, Ash Matty's saying he wants me to read the chat. Zappa. Okay, you guys liked Zappa. All right. Okay. Joe's Garage is pretty good. All right. Looks like it's been very lively. I love it. You're the worst, Ash Matty. You're the worst. All right. So now we are about to move on to a segment called Late Night Stories. Now, you may think you know what Late Night Stories is, except this one's going to be very different because I have a author, Harper Walsh, who is an expat, an American expat that I sat down with and did a bunch of interviews with about various things. Now, Harper has a book called Saudi Arabia Undercover, which includes Bahrain, Bangkok, and Cairo. However, these stories are not probably the kind of stories you would imagine Americans would be telling. It's really about the cultural differences in expectation for these places and actually the thriving countercultures that exist within these very, the way they're represented is very kind of totalitarian. And it's not that they're not, but there is, subcultures everywhere, right? You can't escape that. So I talked with Harper. This is just a slice, a teeny tiny part of a conversation we had. There's a ton more that I'll share over time. But this is a little conversation we had about an experience that Harper had in Japan. So we were talking about Japan.
Yep.
And we were talking about the kaleidoscopic variety of pornography that is available in just any Japanese gas station or whatever it was.
Yeah. So Family Marts, 7-Elevens, they're called convenies.
Convenience.
Short for convenient. Yeah. For convenient store. Short for convenience store. And in these stores, they are actually convenient. They, you can go pay bills. You can go pay your electric bill. You can get government documentation done. They're insanely convenient. If you pull an all-nighter and miss your train, you can roll to a convenie and get a suit and a tie for $4 and roll into work.
Wow.
They are literally extremely convenient.
Wow.
And they sell booze there 24/7, which is pretty cool.
Would you say they're more almost like a truck stop than a typical what we would think of as a convenience store?
No, only because when I think of truck stop, I think of shitty Nebraska T-shirts and shot glasses and stuffed dolls, and that's not really convenient.
Yeah, it's not just touristy bullshit. It's actually stuff you need.
Umbrella covers or change purses or facial, 100 different types of facial wipes. The Japanese don't like to use gum because it is loud. So they use mint instead of gum to freshen breath. So there's they have caffeine infused mints you can get. And so I would use those a lot in place of coffee. So those are pretty cool. There's probably a bunch of other cool shit there that I'm forgetting, but those are just some of the few things I remember. And they're all insanely cheap and they're everywhere. And they all have incredible selection of porn magazines that are they're out in the open. You walk in and turn right and there's just a magazine shelf, because the Japanese haven't really gone on to the Kindle, at least when I was there. They still like holding a physical thing in their hand, whether it's a comic book, a real book, or a porn magazine. So I knew porn was pretty crazy there, because there's a porn shop in an electronic district called Akihabara, and it's 8 floors. It's a big famous building, and everyone goes in there. It's not the dirty old man in the trench coat. Everyone goes in there. It's just there's no shame or public downward opinion on porn in the country. Nor is there no God or religion over there saying that it's a no or shameful or bad or naughty. So it's just it's just universally accepted. So right. I was in Guma, Japan, DJing this show that my buddy had thrown me on, and I'm there with him. He's a Pittsburgh native, friend of a friend that I became good friends with him. And we went into a 7-Eleven before the show, and I just started like looking at all the magazines, and because I'd never buy magazines, certainly not when I was in Japan. And I was like, this is like a shit ton of porn. And it's like at a magazine, like shelf rack, whatever you want to call it, that's like 3 foot off the ground. So like, you know, if your son or daughter walks in, they see it, it's right there. And they don't have like black covers on it, like you can just pick it up. I believe they were like wrapped kind of like a cross with saran wrap. So you couldn't open them, but you could read the covers and the titles. So I look at my feed and I was just like, dude, why are there like 90,000 different porn magazines here? And he's like, they have a lot of genres in Japan. And I was like, whoa, you gotta tell me what's going on. So he picked up like 5 in the first row, and he's like, you know, this is school teacher, this is school teacher outside, this is lawyer, this is girls looking at hanami trees, and it got like super weird, like mom at home cooking, like mom at home with cat, like I said, like girls looking at trees, girl upskirt shots of girls looking at trees. It was just insane to me.
Wow.
That like, one, they had this many genres.
Yeah.
And 2, that it was like this out in the open for, you know, because like I think we said on the last one, if you remember, like in the 90s when you were going in to like a gas station, you could always see like the nudie magazines in the back, like Hustler and Playboy, with like a big black covering on it, but you could still see the title or whatever. And I mean, at that time I wasn't old enough to buy porn, but I just always remember seeing like the dirty magazines in the back by the cigarettes and stuff. So I thought it was pretty crazy seeing that in Japan, and it was just kind of like mind blown that that's how this society handled porn. And it kind of led me to believe to something that I always apply, like when I go to a country. Like if you really want to find out what a country is all about very quickly, to get a general idea, is you look at how that country deals with porn, jails, and people with mental disabilities, and that'll tell you a lot about a country very quickly.
Welcome back to Blazing Spaces Birdhouse Ranch. We have a new invention, and I want to introduce to you our new birdhouse. This is our new design, come up by Stardust the Cat, and that design is Hell in a Cell, the Birdcage by Blazing Space Bird Cages. Yeah, that's right. See, look how much this bird is attracted to this Hell in a Cell. Now it goes over to the regular birdhouse. Doesn't give a shit. All the birds want is a Hell in a Cell. Constantly, we've watched. Stardust and I have been doing research every day, and these birds are going from the regular birdhouse to the Hell in a Cell. They all prefer hell. So today, buy yourself Hell in a Cell from Blazing Space Birdhouse. Just Venmo Stardust the Cat.
Also presented by MI2 Pour to Live, a fun game. The mega hit of 2020 by Bilton Madley. The dark levers of power remind you to never, ever allow anything to change, ever, because reality is a conspiracy, because it's not what I've been telling myself it is my entire life without research. That's also called cognitive dissonance. And Shitty's Pizza, the hospital, is next door. Use promo code WhyGodDoWeSuffer. Get a free depubing, normally $4.99. No pubes on your pizza ever. That's a guarantee. When you use that promo code, you get one. Ever. It's a lifetime one. But it's on the corner of 9th and Nocturnal Drive, just past the memory of your first fully charged smartphone. So I want to thank Harper Walsh for having that conversation with me about, like I said, it's, of course it's about porn and but, Japan is viewed in America as kind of a more conventionally conservative country, socially. So there's actually some misconceptions there. And I thought that was interesting for that reason as well, other than the fact that it's just porn. So want to remind everybody that if you haven't, or if you have friends who might like the show or whatever, give the channel a follow. It's a big help for me trying to get up to 50 followers because at that point the algorithm rewards me. I get some kind of virtual bow and arrow, maybe. I don't know. What am I talking about? Who am I? What is time? Never mind.
It's a not a mucho film review. Don't call it a movie. If you do, he'll be mad.
Doolittle does even less. Doolittle 2020, directed by Stephen Gahan, starring Robert Downey Jr., Antonio Banderas, Michael Sheen, and Jessie Buckley. Could Robert Downey Jr. shake the Tony Stark typecast in his latest role as Dr. John Doolittle? Over the past 11 years, we've dutifully gone to theaters to watch what some people call a D-list Marvel character, even though he's more of a second-tier B-list character. But whatever, you have no comic reading normal. And, much like Christopher Reeves as Superman, RDJ has become synonymous with the character. So much so that it may take 20 years before another actor attempts to don the Iron Man suit. On paper, it makes sense. Avengers Endgame was heavy, and Iron Man died saving the universe. What better way to redefine oneself than by playing a happy-go-lucky mad scientist who talks to animals in a period-piece adventure film? Unfortunately, RDJ's moment of redefinition in Stephen Gahan's Doolittle is burdened by both sloppy concept and execution. In regard to execution, I for one could not understand at least half of the words spoken by our lead. This was not only due to the thick Welsh accent, but because he delivered his lines in a mumble whisper. If you take away all the corny lines recited by the animals or the over-the-top CGI action scenes, you still have, at its core, a film that you can't understand the lead actor, which is both odd and not very enjoyable. What's with this trend of recycling old IPs right now anyhow? Was anyone begging for this adaptation in the first place? I don't think so. And the same goes for Peter Pan, Snow White, and The Lone Ranger. Stop with these fresh takes on antiquated tales. A little homage to the past is always nice, but I'm ready for some new original stories. Okay, rant over. This film is terrible, so terrible, I bet young children will even hate it. Seriously, they will look at their parents and say, "Can we just watch Paw Patrol?" If Iron Man is an A, and previous tellings of Dr. Doolittle have been C's and D's, then this new version is an F.
It's a not a mucho film review. Don't call it a movie. If you do, he'll be mad.
Okay. Okay. It's gonna be okay. Isn't it? I can see you through the fog of time. Chase you to find your way and be better than mine.
you. Everything I say or do, forever in my head. Time left us longing. Lies left us for dead. Goodbye, baby blue. How I'll always love you true. Every tear I shed for you felt like a pound of flesh. Goodbye, baby blue. How I set my heart to you. Everything I say or do, forever in my head. Time left us longing. Lies left us for dead. Love feels like falling. I see you falling. Yeah. Goodbye, baby blue. How I'll always love you true. Every tear I shed for you felt like a pound of flesh. Time left us longing. Lies left us for dead. Your love feels like falling. I see you falling. Yeah.
Hi, Patrick. Hi, Weird at Night. It's Mirda. It's the weather report. We got a special correspondent today. What's your name?
Shady Eye.
Shady Eyes. What's up? What's the weather like today?
Shady.
Yeah? How long do you think it's gonna be shady for?
11 hours.
1,100 hours.
11.
11. All right. Well, anything else to report from the world of shade? Just that. What does that mean? On the planet of shade.
That the sun shocks us every time.
Nice. Well, that's all I've got. There'll be more. But right now I gotta take this correspondent to the next destination. And keep being weird there, buds.
Bikini waxes fuel the shade.
Wow. That's the kind of hard-hitting journalism we do here at Weird at Night, and I'm really glad that you all get to see it. Thank you, Meredith, and the Shadester. It's always a pleasure to have the weather report, but it's even still a pleasure yet to have Gizmo with me tonight. Thanks, Giz. Thanks, Giz. I didn't give him any food after midnight, but I did feed myself Red Bull, like I said in the chat. And you might be... No. That's not what this is about. Okay, so we're going to move on to community creators. Yes. We actually have quite a few. And that's always cool. And we know who has been sending in an animation every single week for quite a while now is Matt Jenkins, who is in the chat or was in the chat earlier. And Matt sent me another one today. This is to the song Ageless, which is my track off my EP, No Future to Fear. Check it out.
I had a dream that I was dead. It felt just like bed. A pillow for my head. Tomorrow was gone. No future to fear. No truth to hold dear. I've never been so sure. I had been cured of time and the quest for reason and infinite unending freedom. I'm coming back again. 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 I had a dream that I woke up perfectly stuck. It's never been so clear. 45 years. More in the box. When nobody talks. I've never been so sure. I had been purified in the sands of reason, an ageless empire of truth and meaning. I'm coming back again.
Matt Jenkins, you crazy, crazy, insane person. How do you do this? How do you do this every time? Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. And what's really cool about that is that the swelling strings that you hear throughout that song were performed by a dear friend and somebody that I truly, truly loved working with. and love working with still, Emily Ravenscraft, who has her own project called Ravenscraft that our very own Blazing Space collaborated on a project together with, which is just like a dream team if you know either one of these two. And when you put them together, it's just as good as you could have ever hoped, and probably much better. Here you go. Ravenscraft. the fuck? Masterful. Just masterful on every level. Musically, the visuals, to me, it's like a psychedelic therapy. You know, it's like a way to kind of deprogram my stress even. And I don't know why that works particularly on me, maybe because I have a very frenetic mind, but absolute kudos to you, Blazing Space, and E. Ravenscraft. If you haven't had a chance to check out Emily Ravenscraft's work, I highly encourage you to. I dropped a link to her website in the chat. She now lives in Kentucky. So I haven't seen her in a really long time, but Emily, if you do see this, we love you here and we miss you. And thank you for sharing this amazing work with us. So next, we still have more, guys. We still have more. And this is one I actually shared on Wednesday or Tuesday night as well. It's by our friend The Zim, who I hope is still in the chat. I love this so much, I just had to show it again. I think this is an amazing piece, and I hope you agree.
It will all work out. This is great medicine for my mind. Anxiety is a part of my life. It's a part of me that I have slowly been gaining a better understanding of. I have found reminding myself that it will all work out prevents anxiety from dominating my state of mind. It will all work out. This idea is very appropriate for me when I think of the current state of the world and my country. I am angry, I am frustrated, I am confused, and I am scared. It will all work out. There is a pandemic all over the globe, and my government is failing at making me feel safe. It will all work out. There are protests against police brutality, and my government is failing at making me feel that they want to build a society that is safe and just and accountable. It will all work out. I need to pay rent. I want to support my children, both of which cost money, and I don't know where it's going to come from. It will all work out. There always seems to be a reason to be angry, to be frustrated, to be worried, to be scared. I can't dwell here. I can't live here. It will all work out. If I only think of the negative emotions, then the negative emotions will consume me. It will all work out. How do I have hope when it feels like there is no hope? How do I have faith when my faith is lost? How do I believe it will all work out? I do it through practice. I do it through patience. I remind myself every day it will all work out, even when it feels like it won't. When the tears well in my eyes, I remind myself it will all work out. When anxiety grips me and steals the joy from the world, I remind myself it will all work out. When the light seems so far away in a sea of darkness, I remind myself it will all work out. It will all work out.
You drinking your water? You drinking your water? Ready to drink water. You drinking your water? You drinking your water? Ready to drink water. You drinking your water? You drinking your water? Ready to drink water.
Daddy, I love you. Daddy, why you die? Happy Father's Day, Daddy. Daddy, I can fly. Daddy, I miss
You're not gonna do the whole video?
No.
Oh, do a turnaround.
Why are you dead?
Happened. I got through the whole goddamn show without doing this, for Christ's sake. Okay, so anyway, thank you, Zim. Thank you, everybody who's watched me on mute now for about 2 minutes. And I want you all to know that we are in this together. We are going to get through this. And those of us who actually are willing to live in this moment instead of projecting too far ahead, I think have a big advantage. And just, explore your own truths, explore yourself when things outside get too big. But a lot of us, are struggling in our own way, and it's okay. It's going to be okay. In the long run, it may not be normal, but it will be okay. So I love you guys. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your morning. Thank you. Oh, hey, I'm still here. What about that?
Whatever it takes is what I'm gonna do.
Let them say we're crazy. What do they know? Put your arms around me, baby. Don't ever.
Oh, hey, it's me again.
1, 2, 3.